All right, welcome to the Jim of All Trades channel. Glad you made it by. My name's Jim. I'm a crypto trader and a Forex trader here to help you understand the market from an Elliott wave perspective. Welcome to the channel, guys. Going to give you a quick update. I am visiting my dad in Virginia. Not really in the best situation to do a live stream on Sunday night charts as I usually do. So here's what I want you to do. In the comments of this video, I want you to put your requests for videos this week on particular cryptos that you want charted for this week, and love to do some analysis for you. But with that said, what we're going to do here, guys, is I'm going to give you some analysis on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and maybe look at XRP, and just kind of get a general view of the market, and just do a little quick video on what I think the market's doing. Can I say to you, boom, as I often say, guys, we got the dump, as I mentioned last week. I said, guys, this is a very high probability, guys, that this move to the upside was a fake out move, and that more than likely we need a C wave down. So looking at the market here, don't forget I'm not a financial advisor. Don't do that, but I will show you how I'm looking at the market through an Elliott wave perspective. So I'm not here to give you financial advice and tell you how to spend your money and where to put your money. However, I will tell you what I'm doing with mine. All right, let's jump in and enjoy the research here, the analysis. All right, so as we look at this from an Elliott wave standpoint, when we look at the wave structure here, guys, basically there's just two or three counts that we just need to focus in on. Okay, so the first count is like, well, here, maybe we should zoom out just a little bit and just start talking macro analysis here. Okay, when you look at this wave to the upside, you say, okay, what's going on here? What is that? Okay, well, in Elliott, you're only two main options. You either have a 3 or a 5. You got a 3 or a 5. So a 3 wave, or a wave with 3 waves in it, is generally a corrective wave. Okay, so that's a correction, whether it's going up, or a correction whether it's going down, right? And then you can have 5 waves, generally speaking, and 5 waves is going to be an impulse wave. Now, that impulse wave can be ending something or beginning something, okay? But nevertheless, 5 waves is what we're looking for. So 5s or 3s, that's what the market is made up of. And what we try to do is we look at these 5s and 3s, put them together, and see if we can figure out the wave structure. And we have a great theory called Elliott wave theory, where this guy from the early 1900s found this pattern of things, and he noticed wave structures made of 5s and 3s. So anyway, so from an Elliott wave standpoint, we're saying, okay, what is this? Is that 3? Or is this going to be 5? And that's really kind of where we're at. And the more this starts coming down, the more likely it's 3. This is actually 3 and not 5. Okay. However, there's still very small possibility here. I think it's small at this stage, the way it looks, right, that this could be 5 waves. Now, I think that count is unlikely, but it's possible, and it's not out of the realm of could happen here. So this is one count, and the way you would look at this entire move here is that from the beginning of time here for Bitcoin to the 2017 run up, that would be 1, 2. Looking at this as 3, 4, 5. Some kind of what we call a diagonal, basically, where wave 4 and wave 1 overlap, which generally is not allowed. But let's do that. Let's do it like this. Something like that. And something like that. So there's a possibility. That means we're still looking for a move to the upside, and it needs to be 5 waves, and it needs to be an impulse wave, and it could get up to $110,000, $120,000 pretty easily. And so the part of the analysis says, okay, hey, this is a possibility here that we have an impulse wave, 1, 1, 2. Now we're looking for this to come back up, 3, 4, 5. Now, the question we then ask is, does the character of this wave, does this pullback that we're getting, this dump in Bitcoin that we're getting, does that have the character of a 3-wave move? Now, generally speaking, this looks very impulsive, but you can make the case, you can make the argument that it's a small argument, but you can make the argument that there's 3 waves here. Now, the rules of Elliott say, hey, listen, wave 2, this is a wave 2, okay? It cannot retrace beyond the origin of wave 1. So here's the origin of wave 1. So this wave right here, coming down, cannot go beyond this point. If it does, this cannot be a wave 2. It can't be a wave 2. But until then, we can actually hold out the opinion that, hey, this is a possibility here that this is actually a 3-wave move right there. Okay. Now, I know. If you watch Alessio's channel, he was talking about this being a possibility of 3 waves here. The problem with that is that this right here doesn't have the character of 3 waves. For that count to be an A, B, C from an Elliott standpoint, this would have to be 3 waves. Well, that doesn't have the 3-wave. It doesn't pass the 3-wave smell test there. It actually has five waves in it if you look at it carefully. So that wouldn't be a great count there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's 5 right there. Okay, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 5-wave shape. So, now that's the thing about Elliott, guys. So there are a lot of guys out there that talk about Elliott wave, and Alessio Rastani uses Elliott wave a little bit, but there aren't a lot of guys like me that actually specialize in Elliott wave, that actually really dig into Elliott wave and have a lot of experience looking at the market through an Elliott wave lens strongly. So this is my specialty on YouTube, guys. This is why I have my channel, to provide that, to fill that space there. So I do this a lot. And I would say that hey, we don't have a 3-wave here. This needs to be 3 waves. Okay, so do we have 3 waves here? Yeah, there's a real possibility. It's an ugly B wave, no doubt about it. So we got A, we got B. That's a real ugly B in there, and then C right there. We'd have to dig into that count a little bit. So I don't think I want to spend a lot of time digging into that count, but. So that there it is. There it is. This would have to be a wave 1, okay? And this is the bull's hope. This is the bullish hope right now. And this is just a really steep 3-wave move, okay? It's wave 2, okay? And then we're getting ready to go up for wave 3. So there's your bull count, guys. There's the moon boy count. There's the bull boy count, and that could be a fake out to the downside, guys. This dump could be the kind of dump that you get where it looks like she's going to keep on rocking, and then boom, they take it all back in one fell swoop. Okay, so watch out for something like that where they just take it on up from here, and that would be wave 5. Okay, so that's one idea out there that I could offer you. Okay, what's another idea? Well, another bearish idea I've been operating on for a while is that this is A. That's 3 waves down. Okay, this is B. Okay, and looking for a C wave. Okay, that we're actually looking for a 3rd wave to the downside here as a large expanded flat. Okay, and we already had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, there's a big, giant argument here for, well, you'd have to argue here, now, what is this 5-wave move here? It's a hard case because this wave right here looks like it only has 3 waves in it. So there's some problems with this as 5, but let's just overlook the problems here and say, okay, that there's a possibility. Then we're looking for 3 waves. Okay, but there are some weaknesses to that being the right count. Okay, another way you could look at this and say, hey, you just have a 3-wave move. This is A, that's B, and this is C. And in that case, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's nothing requiring, okay, any macro count does not have to start with an impulse wave. It just doesn't. It can start however it wants to start. It did start here, with some kind of an impulse wave here, and we had a 3-wave pullback. But nevertheless, we don't have to start with an impulse wave, and there doesn't even have to be a macro count. And I've spent a lot of time talking about that. I don't want to take a lot of time with that, but that being said, just trying to get some good analysis here, equivalent to what I normally give on Sunday night charts here, but maybe not so long. So yeah, 1, 2, or A, B, C with 5 waves in C. Now we're looking for a 3-wave move to the downside. And we'd be looking at this as an impulse wave. 1, leading diag. 2. Now this could be a 1, 2. This could be another 1, 2 of wave 3, and if that's the case, this could be coming down fast and furious. Okay, fast and furious. In other words, this wave here is wave 1, and that's wave 2. Okay. My clicker clicked twice here for 3. Oh, come on. There we go. 3, 4, 5. There we go. I'm having a hard time with my clicker. There we go. So yeah, that could be a 5-wave move of wave 3. You get some kind of a 4th wave back to the 4th and previous degree. It plays around in here, and then one more hit to the low. This could be a 5-wave move back to end, and that's a large. Do I like that? Do I love that count anymore? I don't love it, but I want to say it's a possibility. If we start dumping here and dumping deep and dumping hard and dumping fast, then that's a real plausible and possible count. If that's the case, we would be looking for a fairly fast rebound of Bitcoin back to the upside once it finished next year, maybe. Okay, all right. That's another potential count that we have here on the macro, and then let's talk about just a little bit more of a tricky count here, of what we've got going on, and that is we could simply have a complex correction going on right here. This could be a complex correction, in which you have a flat here in the middle, A, B, and C, and so that 5-wave move right there is 5 waves of a flat, and what you have is an A wave, 3 waves, boom, 3-wave B, boom, looking for a 5-wave C, or WXY could be a 3 waves. So this could be W, X, and then Y. In which case, if that's a WXY instead of a ABC, then we'd be looking for 3 waves. Might get a pullback here, and then another hit to the low. And then all of a sudden you got 3, 3, 3. And that's another possibility as well. Okay, so that would be bearish, but it would be a little less bearish. And I think there's some other counts that we could dig into, but those are the main ones, guys. Those are the main ones. Now, what you want to pay attention to and what you want to start looking at here is that when we start crossing Okay, crossing major lines here. For instance, we are right now playing around on this trend line here. Let's actually draw this trend line from. Well, let's have the here. Let's do this. We got this trend line here, and it broke and came back up. Now it's broken it again, so I think what we're going to do is redraw it here. Okay, now if we break it again, that's going to be more bearish. Okay, let's just do a little trend line analysis here. Excuse me. We're going to next draw this one right here. That's the next one we want to draw. Now, if price may want to work its way down and find support down here. Okay, there's all kinds of support. There's all kinds of real price support. And I've been talking about this in Sunday night charts for a while. The difference between real price support and fake price support. And this right here, this bounce that we had was not real support, guys. It was not what we would in the support and resistance world call real support. Real price support here. We're going to have some actual better support right in this range here, in the, I would say, in the $38,000 to $39,000 range. Okay, and if you want to draw the box a little bit bigger, I think that support box here really needs to start here somewhere around, I would say, 32 to 33,000. Okay, and then go on up to about 40,000, and that's kind of the support range where real price support is. And so we would expect to see Bitcoin probably make its way back down here, more than likely. Now, is it going to come straight down here? I don't think so, guys. I don't think Bitcoin is ready to. I don't think Bitcoin's gonna make it straight down there. It's gonna take time, right? In fact, we're playing around a place of trendline support, and so we need to have a bit of a bounce, and I would expect a bounce at some point. This is just nothing but comes straight down. I would expect some kind of a retest here, some kind of a retest coming up. My wife is calling me, and I'm in the middle of making a video, so sorry, Christy. Hold on one second, guys. There we go. So I would expect this to come back up to some degree, and make its way back up. Now, how big is it gonna go? Well, it just depends on what we're making here, right? So if this was the three-wave move, if that was the three waves, and this is a 1-2. Then we're going to get much more of an impulse wave. However, if this is coming down here, okay, we may be looking for a three-wave move back to the upside. That could be any size. It just depends on what's being made, right? So if we're going down fast and furious, and we're going to go down to $10,000 again, then more than likely, this is going to be fairly large. This might be a fairly large, but three-wave shape. Okay? All right. Sorry, I had to let my wife in. Now, where was I? Oh, anyway, I'm looking for a pullback. You say, how big is the pullback? Well, it just depends on what wave structure we're looking for. So the size of the pullback and the size of the wave here that we get is going to, be indicative of what we're maybe looking for. Okay, so if we get kind of a large three-wave move that does not take that high out, then I would be looking for something big to the downside. Okay, and that would be again probably a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, boom, just a deep dive, some kind of a big time bearish move coming. Okay, that's a bearish look for it. Now, if we start impulsing to the upside and we start taking out that level, taking that level, then all of a sudden we're going to look more at the bullish count and say, hey, we're taking out levels, and we're going to look for 110, 120 in Bitcoin price. Okay, so we got to watch and see if this is a fake out to the downside. We'll know that whether we break this low or not. My guess is that the market makers are not going to let this break this low quite very easily before we get a retest of the high here, or a retest of these at least a 618 retrace of the previous wave. So my guess is that we're going to get a retrace. So I wouldn't expect this to dump tonight and to tomorrow. I wouldn't think so, at least. Normally that's not the case, unless there's a more devious plot than I'm aware of for Bitcoin's pricing. Okay, so that's kind of where we are, guys. The bullish count, I've offered it to you. This needs to make a reversal and begin moving to the upside and pretty fast without taking the low out. That's the bullish count. The bearish count, there's a couple of them here. We've got an A. We could have a B wave here. Looking for C to take this low out. It could break this low, still find support down here in this range, and then come on up. Okay, there's a little bit of support here. That would be a fine support. The real support, though, is where this box is, right here, where this trend line is. Wouldn't be surprised to see price get all the way down to, about 39, 40K. But I would expect it would take a while to get down there, probably over the next, what I just drew right there, takes you into the middle of October. So that may take a while to play out. It just depends on how the wave is going to come down, right? But I would expect normally a pullback of some kind before this really breaks to the downside. All right, so we've got some time to think about it, I believe. But Bitcoin is dumping, and you got to be respectful of it for sure, because they're going to take. There are lots of people that are very, very bullish on Bitcoin, looking for Bitcoin to go to 100K. And I always say, guys, Bitcoin often goes where you expect it to go. It just won't go in the way you expect it. Okay, and so I spent a lot of time talking about. Somebody accused me of being a contrarian. That's not the case, actually. I'm not necessarily a contrarian, though I am a lot of times, but not just for the sake of being a contrarian. No. What I understand is that when I see something on the chart, and especially an Elliott wave, when something says, "Hey, oh man, this is definitely going," when I look at the chart and I get the feeling, "Oh, this is definitely going somewhere," based upon what I'm seeing. When it's obvious where it should go, then all of a sudden I look for the exact opposite play to take place. In other words, when something looks too obvious to be true, too good to be true, too pretty, okay, when it looks so pretty that it compels me to say, yeah, it's definitely going that way, then I have to start looking contrary to that, because that's very much the case of the market making tactics. They will give you a look on the chart that looks one way to get you to spend your money one direction, and then once you've done that, it's too late. Once you've placed your trade, they know how to take your money right from you very quickly. So anyway, so with that said, I'm not a contrarian just to be a contrarian. However, I am. I do look for market maker tricks and things that they like to do to us. All right. Taking a peek at the DXY here, guys. The DXY is taking a bit of a dump here. Let's look at it. I was expecting it price to still make its way on up here. So, but price is kind of moving down. So we're going to look at this wave structure a little bit differently here than I've got it drawn. I guess it's still possible here, but this looking for price to maybe work its way down and then back to the upside. And that would be a three-wave, and then a three-wave double correction. And then let's go on down after that. So still looking for this to correct on up to somewhere around the 618 retrace of that wave. That would be normal. It would be expected. I think that's likely. So 110, 18 on the DXY. Okay, XRP, looking at XRP. Is XRP ready to break out? Is it ready to break out and start pumping? It's a good question. It's a great question here. Looking at, I've got the wrong XRP chart up here. Let me pull the right one up here. There we go. That's not even the right one. There we go. Love it. There we go. So looking at XRP, you say, is this ready to rock? I mean, it's a good question. XRP has these big pumps, and they come out of nowhere. But for me, when I look at XRP, I'm looking at this wave, and I'm thinking, ooh, that looks like a flat right there. Which, if that's the case, I'm expecting this to work its way on down to finish. That looks like a preliminary flat. Let's come down. Then once we come and retest this low, oh sorry. Once we come and retest this low here, then maybe we'll look to round it back on up. So more than likely we're in some kind of wave like this to the downside. That's what I expect. That's what I believe. Is that we are in some kind of a wave like this. Boom. Boom, and we're working our way down here, okay, before we pop up. So I don't think XRP is totally ready yet, though. You know, it was starting to look like it to a lot of people. Okay, but that's my take on XRP. Looking at Ethereum here, just a quick peek on the 3-day chart on Ethereum. Ethereum's interesting because Ethereum is broken. You know, it made this 3-wave shape, and then it's already broken down. So Ethereum, whereas Bitcoin hasn't broken this 3-wave, Ethereum has. Okay, and so that's letting me know that this has more down to come, guys. You'll get a pullback, but this is coming down deeper. So I'm expecting some dumpage coming, guys. I'm pretty bearish here. So we're watching this develop. We're going to really watch this trend line here. The 200 moving average here on the 3 days is going to be interesting to watch as well. So things are looking very bearish here on Ethereum especially. All right, guys, it's not looking great, guys. I don't know that I would err on the bull side right now. However, be cautious here. Lots of shenanigans, and we're living in weird times. Hope you guys have a fantastic evening. Thanks for stopping by the channel. Leave some love and leave your requests for whatever charts you want me to look at this week, and I'll make some videos this week as I can over the next couple of days on the charts that you'd like to see. With that said, y'all have a fantastic evening. Bye-bye.